Hello students, today we are going to discuss another problem on computation of total income. Now look at this problem number 8, which is entirely different from all the previous problem we have understood and solved so far. Now they have given in this problem the gross total income of Mrs. SNS Limited was computed for the assessment in 1920 as follows. Now they have given a set of incomes and at the end they have given we have to compute taxable total income. That means in simple words we have to find out total income. Now they have neither given P&L account nor they have given additional information, but let us look at whatever they have given and understand how to solve this problem. Now look at this one. First point they have given income from rice mill 1,50,000, income from steel company 1,90,000. Like this they have given certain set of incomes. Now income from rice mill 1,50,000 is related to business, so it will become your business income. Then income from steel company is also 1,90,000. It is also related to business, so that will also come under business income. Then again, profit of new industrial unit situated in backward industrial state, which was established in the year 2011, 85,000. Now, this is also your part of your business income. So, this 85,000 also you should consider it as business income. Now, please remember for new industrial units situated in backward industrial estate for the 10 years from the year of establishment or the year of incorporation, whatever profits and gains they earn will become eligible for deduction under Section 80 IC. That means it should be an industrial unit and it will be situated in backward state. So from the for 10 years from the date of incorporation, entire profit and gains whatever they earn that will become deductible under Section 80 IC. Then again they have given income from poultry farming which was started in November 2010, 1 lakh rupees. So poultry income from poultry farming is also part of your business income. Now anyways again they have given November 2010. Now if it is industrial establishment you can claim deduction under Section 80 IC. But if it is some other business apart from industrial establishment, which is newly started, for the first 5 years, you can claim 100% deduction of the entire profits. Now it was started in the year first 5 years you can claim the 100% deduction under Section 80 IB. Now they have given this poultry farming business was started in the year 2010. That means now for the previous years, the 18 and 19, it would have already crossed 5 years period of time. So for the first 5 years, this entire 1 lakh rupees, you can claim 100% deduction or whatever profit and gains it earns for the first 5 years, you can claim 100% deduction. But after 5 years period of time, only 30% of such profit and gains will be eligible for deduction under Section 80 IB. So since it has already crossed 5 years from the date of or from the year of establishment, so on whatever profits and gains it has got, only 30% will become eligible for deduction under Section 80 IB. Then again, next item they have given short-term capital loss, which is rupees 60,000. Now, short-term capital loss again, where it will come? It will come under your capital income from capital gains. Now, again, look at 8th one. They have given long-term capital gain 1 lakh rupees. Now, short-term capital loss can be set off against this long-term capital gain. So, from this long-term capital gain of 1 lakh, you have to deduct this short-term capital loss of 60,000, and the balance will be your uh, income from long-term capital gain. Then again, they are given income from royalty from Indian company 75,000. So it will come under income from other sources. So dividend of from a domestic company 50,000 will also come under the head income from other sources. Then again, they have given 9 point last point export business profit 3 lakh rupees. So export business profit means it is also related to business. So it will come under business income. Now again, they are given one more point. The company donated 50,000 rupees to Chief Minister Drought Relief Fund. So the amount which they have contributed Chief Minister Drought Relief Fund is eligible for deduction under Section 80J. Now let us understand how we have to solve this problem. Now again, we have to compute total income for assessment year 1920. We have to start with income from business. So income from business, what all will come? Income from rice mill, income from steel company, profit from new industrial unit, income from poultry farming and export business profit. All these items will come under your business income. So all this we have to add. So that will be your total income from business. Then again, you have to add income from capital gain. So income from capital gains, how much do you have? You have long-term capital gain of 1 lakh rupees and you have short-term capital loss. So the short-term capital loss, since it can be adjusted from this long-term capital gain, so from this 1 lakh rupees, you have to deduct 60,000 rupees and you will get finally income from capital gains as 40,000. Then again, next head, income from other sources, you have royalty income and dividend from domestic company. Now, royalty income is 75,000 and you are receiving dividend from Indian domestic company, Indian company or domestic company. So whatever dividend you receive from Indian company or domestic company will be completely exempted from payment of tax. So it is exempted. So from all the different from income from business, income from capital gains, and income from other sources, if you add, you will get total gross total income of 9,40,000 rupees. Then again, you have to show deductions under section 80G to 80LA. Now, first deduction will be for section 80IC. That is, if you are a new industrial unit, I told you for first 10 years, whatever profit and gains that a new industrial unit situated in backward states earns, it will be 100% eligible for deduction. So 85,000 is the profit from new industrial unit. So it is eligible for 100% deduction, 85,000. Then again, you poultry farming business also is started in November, but it has already crossed 5 years. So in previous years, only 30 since it has crossed 5 years period of time from the year of establishment, only 30% of the profit will be eligible for deduction under section 80 IB. So 1 lakh is the income from poultry farming. So we have to multiply into 30%. Only 30,000 will be eligible for claiming deduction. Then again, you have made some contribution to CM drought relief fund. So 100% of your contribution to Chief Minister drought relief fund is eligible for deduction. So you have made 50,000 donation. So entire 50,000 is eligible for claiming deduction. So from this 9,40,000 of gross total income, if you deduct all these three items, you will get a total income of 7,75,000. Now I have given some small note for claiming deduction under 80 IB for first 5 years from the year of incorporation or establishment. I told 100% of the profit and gains is eligible for deduction for next 5 years. For deduction for next 5 years after this period is over. So for first 5 years it is 100% deduction. For the next 5 years, the 30% of the profit and gains whatever they are earning is eligible for deduction under section 80 IB. So please write down this note after this problem. Now let us move ahead to another problem. Again in this problem, question number 9, they have given P&L account as well as they have given certain additional information. Now let us look at this question. Whenever they give P&L account, we have to classify the items into admissible and inadmissible. Now see the establishment expenses, it is admissible, no need to worry. Rents and taxes also admissible. Depreciation debited to P&L account or whatever depreciation they have given in P&L account, it is inadmissible. So we have to add the 60,000 to net profit. Then fire insurance is admissible. Provisions for tax, so all these provisions are inadmissible in nature, so you have to add. Then again entertainment expenses, that is admissible. Donation to Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, so all charities and donation is inadmissible and you have to add. Then again donation made to this Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is eligible for claiming deduction under section 80G. Then again general expenses is admissible. Then proposed dividend, so whenever you are paying dividend or whenever you are proposed dividend, paying dividend or declaring dividend, that amount becomes inadmissible and you have to add it to net profit. Then again let us look at additional information. They are given general expenses included a sum of 9,600 paid as municipal tax and 1,600 paid as insurance on house property, which is littered. So since this municipal tax and insurance which are included in general expenses are incurred on house property, that means it is not related to business. So 9,600 and 1,600 should also be added to net profit. Then again they are given depreciation as per IT law 50,000. So depreciation which is admissible as per IT law under section 32, you have to deduct from net profit. Then again on credit side, they have given gross profit, no need to worry about that. Rent received from house property. So whenever they have given rent received, you should show separate calculation. I will explain you later how to do. Then again, since it is income from house property and not related to business, you have to deduct from net profit. Then again, profit on sale of fixed asset will become your capital gains. Then again, interest on government securities 24,000 is your income from other sources. Then again, dividend from Indian companies also income from other sources. So all these are non-business income. So all these four items should be deducted from your net profit. Then again, they have given in additional information. We have already discussed this. Now let us go to problem and see how we have to solve. Start with net profit as usual, 5,96,100. Add all inadmissible items, that is depreciation debited to P&L account, provision for tax, donation to Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, proposed dividend and municipal tax and insurance on house property. Then you will get a total of 9,97,800. Then again you have to deduct certain admissible items or non-business income. So rent received from house property, rent receipt from house property 80,000 and profit from sale of fixed asset 37,000, interest on government securities 24,000, dividend from Indian company 20,000, and depreciation admissible as per IT law 50,000. It is income from other, it is non-business income, so you have to deduct all these incomes. That then you will end up getting taxable income from business as 7,86,800. Now in this question they have also asked us to compute total income. So how do you compute total income? You have to start with income from business or profession, which is 7,86,800. Then again you have income from house property. Now then if they have directly given in the credit side of P&L account income from house property 80,000, you could have directly considered this 80,000, but since they have given rent from house property, now we have to do some calculation and find out income from house property. So how we have to do? Rent received they have given on credit side of P&L account as 80,000. Then again from this rent received 80,000 we have to deduct municipal tax paid on house property. So they have paid some municipal tax on house property 9,600. You have to deduct from rent received. Then you will arrive at net annual value of 70,400. Now once you get this net annual value, on this standard deduction of 30% you should deduct. That will become 21,120, and your final answer will be 49,280, which will be your income from house property. So this is how we have to calculate income from house property if they give rent from house property in the question. Then again you have to show income from capital gain, that is profit from sale of fixed assets, 37,000. Then again income from other sources you have interest from government securities 24,000, dividend from Indian company is completely exempt. So your gross total income will come to 8,97,080. So how do you get this gross total income? Add all the income from all the heads of income like business income, income from capital gains, and income from other sources. You will get gross total income. So once you get gross total income, show deductions under section 80G to 80LA. Now again you have contribution or donation made to Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Now only 50% of this will be eligible for claiming deduction under section 80G. So the 10,000 into 50% will be 5,000. So 5,000 you deduct from 8,97,080, you will get total income of the company as 8,92,080. Now let us go to last problem. Again they have given P&L account and they have given certain additional information. Now provision for tax, which is first item. We know whenever they give provisions, it is inadmissible, so we have to add to net profit. Rent and taxes is admissible, fire insurance is admissible, establishment expenses is admissible, then depreciation is inadmissible, we have to add back. Donation and charity also we have to add back. General expenses again admissible. Reserve for doubtful debts, so any provisions and reserves becomes inadmissible, so we have to add. Entertainment expenses is admissible. Net profit 3,43,000 is starting point for computation of business income. Then again on credit side, gross profit they are given 6,50,000. No need to worry. Gross profit, profit on sale of machinery they are given as 18,000. So it becomes your income from capital gains. Then again interest on security and dividend from Indian companies will become income from other sources. So since these three items are non-business income, we have to deduct from net profit. Now in additional information they are given the allowable depreciation as per IT Act is 20,000. So depreciation allowable as per IT Act or under section 32, you have to deduct from net profit. Then again machinery was purchased in August 17 and sold in March 19. That means they have sold within a shorter period, so it will become short-term capital gains. Then again donations and charities are paid to recognized charitable institutions. So whenever they make payments or charities to charitable institutions, it will become eligible under section 80G. So let us understand how to solve this problem. Start with net profit, add all inadmissible items, you will get a total, then again deduct admissible items or non-business items, you will end up getting taxable income from business. Now this is what you know, there is no need for deeper explanation. Then again we have to compute total income. So start with business income 4,31,500, then profit on sale of machinery will be short-term capital gains, you add that 18,000, and income from other sources you have two. One is the interest on securities 12,500, then dividend from Indian companies is exempted from tax. So you will reach gross total income of 4,62,000. Then again, whatever contribution you have made to charitable institutions, 50% of it will be eligible for deduction, claiming deduction under section 80G. So donation to charitable institutions will be eligible for only 50% deduction. So 3,500 is the amount which you have made as donation. Out of that, 50% will be eligible. So 1,750 will be 50% of 3,500. You have to deduct this 1,750 from gross total income of 4,62,000. Then you will get a total income of 4,60,250. So this is how we have to solve this problem.